Disney fans? Steve here with NotClub33.com, and this week's episode of the Notcast, we talk about the worst resorts at Walt Disney World.
Cool. Like, I could literally see through the gap in my freaking curtains, straight through to the gap in somebody else's curtains across the... And I was like, oh, hell no. This is tacky as hell, but I used a hanger that has like the clips for pants, and I clipped it closed like a freaking Motel 6. I was pissed.
Damn!
Welcome everybody to the Notcast today. It's the worst resorts at Walt Disney World. We'll pick one in each category: value, moderate, and deluxe. We'll jump right in, but first, let's see who's here with us. Becky Wells. Pat Neistat. Bobby Burchin.
Boom, boom, pow.
Oh, man. And I'm Steve Rhodes. And guys, we are going to tell people what's the not so great places on our lists to stay at Disney World.
Yeah. We all have a least favorite.
If we were just to make this, just what are your three worst, it's pretty easy just to kind of cherry pick in the value and moderate area. But we're going to pick one out of each category of the one that you just aren't going to. And I think Bobby, why don't you start us off since you're the cynic here of the bunch?
Yes, this is my negative territory now.
What's your value play here?
So the worst has to be for value All-Star Sports. Just the acronym spells ass, which, generally speaking, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, but it smells like ass over there usually. It's the swampiness of it, I guess. I don't know. All the giant statues over there, they look just so weird and out of place, especially because, I don't know, I don't need to see Goofy playing football. It just seems very odd to me. It's near the wide world of sports, and I get it that you have to have some sort of cheap, room for all the cheerleading competitions and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, but, I appreciate a sports thing, but it'd have to be so shitty. It's just the worst. It really is.
So, I think I read that the cheerleading competition moved Universal.
Pop Warner and the cheerleading.
I guess we can bulldoze that now, huh?
Oh, I sincerely hope so. God.
That's all it was good for, to keep away. We're not to go, so you knew not to go there because that's where they were hosting those kids.
So I literally only stayed there 2 nights, and both of them were spent so drunk that I can barely remember them. It was New Year's Eve and New Year's Day on, I think it was 2009 to 2010. And me and a buddy went down. We went to go see Florida play Penn State in the Outback Bowl. Spent New Year's Eve day drinking at Epcot. Got so trashed that we didn't make it to midnight. We looked at each other at 10 o'clock and said, "Do you want to go anywhere?" Nah, bro. And we just kind of fell asleep. Woke up and ate some Bob Evans. And then the next night, we went out to Planet Hollywood because I guess we were just wanting to be as tacky as we could be. I cannot believe how much alcohol Disney would let me consume that night. I was very surprised.
At least you didn't pay much for your room.
No, it was $120 over New Year's. So
it's not worth it. I don't know.
I'm going to go ahead and piggyback. I'm going to piggyback off Bobby and say All-Star Sports as well. Stayed there one night, different scenario than Bobby. I was only there. I got in at 11 o'clock and then woke up in the morning, went to Epcot, and then went to the Polynesian. But, it's a hotel room.
Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah. That's almost a motel room, though.
Yeah,
motel. That's what I meant, motel.
If your standard Holiday Inn, if it doesn't meet that standard, and All-Star Sports definitely doesn't, it can't be considered a hotel room. It's got to be considered a Roach Motel, and that's where I'm at.
They got the commissary or whatever they call it there. They have powdered eggs. The bacon's that thin bacons. It's terrible.
Gross.
Terrible. We ate it though.
Becky, what's your least?
Well, I mean, based on that, I'm just gonna pick that too. I've I've not stayed at any of the All-Stars, but there are so many reasons I was never willing to try. It was worth the extra like $8 a night to go to Pop Century.
So, is that the difference?
That's sometimes it was.
Because I was going to say the only upside.
Sometimes
the only upside to All-Star Sports is the price. Like if you're just willing to sleep somewhere,
right?
Then
my brother
because you want that bus.
Yeah, my brother once did Pat's trip kind of in reverse. Like they had a DVC stay, but then they had to add on one more night, and they went from their villa to an All-Star, and I was like, "You're an idiot! What a dumb way to end your trip." And he agreed. So afterwards, I'd say any of the All-Stars, I'm not going. Nope.
Yeah, I mean,
hard pass.
I could roll the dice here just to be a contrarian and pick a different All-Star.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll just go with the one like ASS. ASS. Come on, guys. Disney's got to know. Okay, we as Disney fans give acronyms for everything.
They do
and
too.
You name something All-Star Sports. I mean, what do you think we're going to call it? And then it's shitty. I mean, guys,
as shitty as possible.
I don't know. It serves its purpose, but
yeah, I mean, with the Pop Warner and cheerleading stuff like rolling out though, like I think the dance one is still going to stay. Which
I didn't realize that Pop Century is only a couple dollars more. I mean, even with the Skyliner now.
Probably been adjusted. I was going to say probably been adjusted since their refurb and the Skyliner. It's definitely a little more. Sometimes when you would do the searches, it would come up with like All-Star Music, but it'd be like their suite, which and so it would like why is this more expensive? But I think it was like the family room one, and I know they just refurbished one or both movies and part of music or something, and I can't even see how they'd improve it even by burning it down and starting over. I wouldn't go there.
Well, that's how you have to improve it.
Yeah. I think the bulldozer comment maybe is really just the best. We should go to moderate now. Run away.
I mean, we're just piling on. We're just piling on. All right. Shitty moderate. Bobby, if you want to tell us what yours is.
All right. So mine's going to be Port Orleans French Quarter. And there's a specific reason why. My wife and I stayed there for our engagement trip, as a matter of fact. And during, we took our engagement pictures at Epcot, and it was supposed to be this lovely, wonderful affair that was supposed to be stress-free because we got into World Showcase early, blah, blah, blah. The power went out at like 6 o'clock in the morning and didn't come back on until after we had already checked out.
Well, Bob, you always got something going wrong with your rooms and shit.
I know. It's a travesty with me. And maybe you guys should.
It's got to be your magic band.
Yeah. It must be.
Or karma.
Or karma. I hadn't even come to Disney Cynic at that point.
Amanda.
No, this trip actually is what made it happen. Like made me want to become the Disney Cynic. So, first off,
we got something out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, first off, they had to drive her across the resort in a golf cart so she could get ready for her engagement photos. Do you know how ridiculous that seems? Like racing across like a 7-building resort to find the power in one unoccupied room. That makes me laugh in and of itself. But I was able to get ready without power and everything like that. And I'm just trying to catch 10 extra minutes of sleep or something like that. What time is checkout? Everybody, let's all say it together. It's 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock. And here comes housekeeping pounding on the door at 8:49, ready to check out. And
no.
I've never, that was the first time I ever told somebody to
Bobby,
fuck off.
That shit happens at every single level.
I know, but that was the first time that it ever happened to me at Disney. So, that it's left a terrible taste in my mouth because of it. The boat ride to even over to Disney Springs was just so freaking long that it didn't seem worth it. You could have just gotten in the car or on the bus to get there faster. There's really no upside to the resort, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's got to be Port Orleans French Quarter.
Pat?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Coronado. because it's just not Disney. You know, it's the least. It's just a hotel.
Yeah, those convention. Well, yeah.
It's a convention center. It's a hotel. It's business.
I mean, it's a decent. It's a decent hotel. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The hotel is fine. But if I'm going on vacation, I'm not staying there. I could stay there anywhere USA.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's where I would say is the worst. Yeah, Bobby, I feel like you are.
I feel like there's going to be a disagreement in a future episode. How's that?
Well, he didn't say Grand Destino Tower.
I was gonna say, are we separate? They're the same resort, but I bet
they're not the same resort.
Well, that was
go ahead and say it.
Mine though. Like, this is what I was gonna say. You couldn't pay me to stay at. Well, you couldn't pay me to stay at Caribbean Beach either again. But
they would.
Coronado, no, hell no.
Really?
But Grand Destino is nice.
You're telling me if they paid you to go stay,
I would stay at the ass if they paid me. I mean, you know.
No, I'm not.
I'm not staying there. No.
I don't know.
Coronado, sure.
Grand Destino Tower, if I can separate it.
No.
Tells
it's all part of the same resort. No, absolutely not.
I said if I could separate
it. No. You can't separate. No. Just like the Contemporary has those little rooms off to the side. It's not part of the main tower. No. You don't get to separate those rooms off to the side. You don't get to separate Grand Destino off of Coronado. So no.
It's not a different
Caribbean Beach and be angry at it.
I'm saying I won't stay at any part of Coronado. Grand Destino Tower is beautiful. But no way. Internal busing burns it down for me right from the start. No.
Okay.
4 different stops before you figure out where you're even headed. No.
All right, it's three against one here. I'm Coronado too. I mean, I just want to be very frank. Like, I won't stay at the All-Stars. I would stay at Coronado if that was like my only option. But quite honestly, for the price, it's not a Disney hotel. It's on the property. It's got transportation, but it's a Hilton. And I've got enough Hilton points, Hilton for freaking free. So why in the hell am I going to go to a Hilton in the middle of Disney when I can go to a Hilton in the middle of Disney at Disney Springs and pay nothing? It just, for me, Coronado, it's a decent place. It's nice. The Destino Tower is beautiful. Yeah. I'll go there for lunch and sit at the water and eat or whatever.
Fine, but
I'm not going to stay there if given a choice between things in that price range for a moderate. First off, I would just rent DVC points and stay at a deluxe, which is what we always tell you guys to do.
Yeah.
It's pay the same fucking price. You know. It is so don't be an idiot and stay at any of these.
I couldn't even name before this call. I couldn't even name the moderates anymore. Like I.
Well, that's why we have Google, Becky, and we don't.
That's well, I used Bing, and
I'm Disney expert.
Yeah, I could only come up with 2. I'm like, what even are the other ones? Hey, Bobby, can you pick something we've never heard before for your worst one? Because we already know.
Oh, yeah. So now we're going to move on to Deluxe to see if Bobby has any surprises for anybody that's ever read or watched anything back in 33.
You know what? Yes.
Is there anywhere else
that
you hate?
Saratoga Springs.
SSR. Okay.
Saratoga
what is it? I know what it is.
Okay, to hear the rant, go back and listen to one of the earlier. What was it, episode 3 or 4 or something like that? For that rant, I mean, it was one of our first couple episodes for that rant. No, this goes beyond that to a degree. It is a huge and sprawling resort that is not easy to get around if you were in one of those outer limit buildings. And to me, like, I get where you're coming from on Coronado with the internal busing. it's the same sort of thing, but like part of the appeal to Saratoga Springs is that you're supposed to be able to walk over to Disney Springs, and if you get stuck over by the treetop terrace towers, whatever they want to call them, and like good luck walking 7.5 miles.
You need a car. You freaking need a car to stay
to drive over there.
Yeah.
So no, like there's that. The spa is nice feature that like I'm just not going to indulge in, and I think that like whenever you have an amenity like that doesn't get utilized all the time, you end up paying for it in the room rate in and of itself. The pool's nothing to write home about. The restaurants there are nothing to write home about. Of course, I wanted to say the Polynesian, but I wanted to surprise you guys and come up with something that's just a little bit different. Fuck the Poly too; they're both trash. But you know, Saratoga Springs, especially because of my most recent stay there, I'm bumping it up the list. I mean, I gotta have something better, guys, for that. So
a lot of people love those pools. I've never seen them.
There's nothing special to them. That's the thing. Is like it's just like a rocky pool with like a slide that's kind of hidden. Okay, it looks like you know what it looks like. It looks like Fort Wilder or Wilderness Lodge's pool,
like the Boulder Ridge side. Yeah.
So it's nothing to it, honestly.
Fair.
Yeah.
How about you, Pat? Are you going to shock us?
I'm going to shock you. So I'm going off of the places that I've stayed, and I'm going with Bay Lake Tower. I think Bay Lake Tower, the best appeal to Bay Lake Tower is the proximity to Magic Kingdom. Yeah, you get to walk to it. But if you just single it out and separate it from the Contemporary, there's no restaurant there. You got to walk all the way anywhere to get something to eat.
100%.
Unless you go up to the top of the world, which isn't always open. And the rooms are just okay. And the lobby, everything about it is just
the lobby is like my house is bigger than that lobby.
It's
my living room is bigger than that lobby.
Even special. It's not even elegant, you know.
No. So, I'm with you, man. Like that. I don't want to cut you off if you've got more.
No, that's it. I mean, it's just what it is. The rooms are small.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about it except you're right next to Magic Kingdom.
So I stayed there for our honeymoon, and
here we go.
Yeah.
What broke?
It was the conception of the Disney Cynic. Bay Lake Tower was the birth, if you will. I'm just saying, you know, there's two different starting points. Anyway, no, I agree 100%. I'm on my honeymoon and I'm in a fucking double bed because it's a studio, and I don't know what it is about Disney or DVC studios. They used to have like 2 actual queen size beds in them, or they used to have like one king bed in them. Now they have the sleeper couch and like a double bed, and that double bed is like this wide and this wide, and that's not. I mean, it was my honeymoon, so I was of course going to be close and cuddly with my wife and everything, but I still kind of want a little bit of space here and there.
Well, yeah, like Old Key West is the only one left that has 2 queens in the studio.
Yeah.
Well, their refurbed rooms have the 2 queens, but you're right. Like, it's so many of them really don't.
I've been in a Bay Lake room. I haven't stayed there, but I don't remember it being a double bed. It was one queen in the
I think
in the sofa bed.
If that's a queen,
okay.
I have a terrible joke. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. But that's a queen. It's the skinniest queen that I've ever seen. Like it's like it seriously isn't very wide. It really reminds me more of a double. Or if they're calling it a queen, so be it. But like,
so it's a full.
Yeah.
The best part about Bay Lake Tower is top of the world.
100%.
And walking the Magic Kingdom.
Honestly, the view from most of the rooms is outstanding as well. Okay, so like even the views overlooking the actual Bay Lake is very cool to look at. You had at one point like one of the Central Florida 15-minute pop-up thunderstorms.
You can see the electrical parade and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, you know, so even those kinds of things are really cool to see from the tower. It's just the room size is like 200 square feet, and it's not fun to get.
The fact that you have to walk
shoved in there,
get something to eat. I mean,
walk-in closets are bigger in some places, so
Yeah, I'm also of this same mindset. I stayed there one night in October.
Oh.
And I freaking hate it. That whole damn place is an airport. I almost like wrote up a
you don't
rant
like
about it.
Are you lumping in the Contemporary with Bay Lake?
Absolutely, because it's useless. Okay. It's like an airport. The Contemporary is an airport. And then this is like the airport hotel when your shit gets canceled. Like when your flights are canceled. Like, so I get the views. I'm sure that they're magnificent, and there's some hacks to get a standard view with actually seeing some of the park or a dumpster, and they had to like recategorize some of those rooms because they were listed as theme park because you could see like this much of Space Mountain, but you also saw the dumpster. So then they had to change that to be standard. But so I got put on the main floor, which fine. I don't care. Room requests are a request. I'm not gonna, get angry about that.
What's the point of staying in a tower if you don't stay at least one floor up?
Well, right. But I was on the main floor.
The Contemporary is better than Bay Lake. Like that building to me is better because at least you have
the A-frame building.
Right. Well, I had to go up to. You have to go to the.
We have food.
Fourth floor at Bay Lake to go to the. But it lets you out on the 5th floor of the Contemporary. It's some like stupid mind screw that like when you're drinking, like you can't remember which one. I went on the wrong floor twice, and I just to go get food, and I'm like, is this the right floor? This is not the one. Like, and I needed to go to the main floor, which I got. That was obviously fine, but just to switch, I'm like, am I on the? Because the food at the Contemporary is also not on the floors that you get off on. It's like such a freaking disaster.
Well, it's because it's the 4th floor at the Contemporary and the 5th floor at Bay Lake, I believe.
Yeah, I obviously don't remember. But I was pissed alone with my room. Like, I don't know about the bed size. I was by myself. I don't know. But I was pissed. My curtains didn't even close. And I was on that little promenade to the pool. Like, I could literally see through the gap in my freaking curtains straight through to the gap in somebody else's curtains across the and I was like, oh hell no. This is tacky as hell, but I used a hanger that has like the clips for pants, and I clipped it closed like a freaking Motel 6. I was pissed. It was so ghetto. And I was like, this is the stupidest crap. This is a DVC resort. I don't know what. And my patio was like 2 square feet of mud. And I couldn't even walk from that to go to the pool. Like, the pool was trash. I was like, I'm glad I don't own here and like want to stay here all the time. I checked out a 2-bedroom. It was less functional than anything, but it was fine. Will I bring my kids there? I don't know. Can I walk to Magic Kingdom from there? Yes. Can I walk to Magic Kingdom from the Polynesian and Grand Floridian where I won't go? Yes.
Yeah, that's a long walk. But the benefit is that monorail can get you there just as fast as your walk.
The monorail from the Contemporary.
I'm saying from the Polynesian.
Yeah.
Getting on the Polynesian, the monorail, and then getting to Magic Kingdom is just as fast as you walking to Magic Kingdom from Bay Lake.
My favorite part of the monorail there was watching everybody try to get on and be like, we're going to the Magic Kingdom. Like, why are you on the monorail? You have to go to...
Yeah, you don't walk from the Contemporary.
Unless it's pouring.
I'll take
it's about the same distance.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. I was like, you guys really
when
don't
it's pouring and raining, then you
sure. Yeah.
But you get wet. Here's.
Becky, I'm assuming you didn't say, but I'm assuming that makes your worst luck is
Yeah, no, I'm on the same wavelength.
Okay, I figured. I just didn't want to put words in your mouth and saying that you were calling Bay Lake your worst deluxe.
Contemporary.
So I'll see.
I want to defend either. So yeah.
I want to defend, the Contemporary in general, but I see your points about Bay Lake. I mean, with it not being, there's no monorail running through it. The only food is at the top of the world. And it's going to be no surprise to you guys what I'm going to say is the worst deluxe. And you viewers, sorry, but Grand Floridian, eat shit. Like, no, it's just not. I don't get it. Like,
not enough
we went
space in the
there.
world for Steve to stay there.
Man, I'll rock a boat shoe if I got to, but I ain't going there. Like, I'm just one with a Coca-Cola. Okay, you know, it's the whole. Everybody's in here to be like, hey, I'm doing. Yeah, and I'm here on vacation. You guys, like, you're wearing a T-shirt or whatever you're doing, and these guys, some of these guys are in straight button downs. It's like, dude, like, we all know how much it costs. All the hotels on this monorail cost similar. Yours is a little bit more expensive. Please don't act like an ass. Like, I mean, put your freaking pinky down, you pretentious piece of shit. Like I just no. Like, I will stay there if I get a deal. I'm not against staying there. It won't be my favorite pick, but for the price, dollar for dollar, it's just too high up there for what you get. I'd rather go to Beach Club or Boardwalk or Poly and get a more laid back experience for less dollar. Worry about club douchebag.
I agree with you. I mean, I'll stay there. I mean, I want to stay at every resort, at least all the Lux resort. So
yeah,
I'll eventually stay there. It's not my first choice. It'll probably be my I'll wait for something. Good deal.
A deal.
Yeah.
Allow me to defend, the...
Go ahead and defend your Bay's
now
honor.
that you're a Floridian.
Grand Floridian Bay. Oh, let me add before you jump in. The Grand Floridian is based off a freaking hotel in San Diego, California, for God's sakes. Look it up.
The
Grand Floridian.
They do have some decent food options there. So.
I'll go with that.
No,
and I love the decorations at Christmas, but
the price,
the spawn walking.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap up. Bobby, go ahead and defend. Go ahead and defend the honor.
I'll go ahead and defend the honor. Listen, rich people like to go to Disney World too. Okay, and they can't just all buy a house over at the Golden Oaks, and they can't all stay at the Four Seasons. So some of them have to slum it over at the Grand Floridian. Okay, and God forbid some of us like to dress in button-up shirts. Me right now, I'm adapting to my lifestyle in Florida. That's why I'm wearing Columbia performance fishing gear. I've never fished. I've never fished in my life, but I've got to have performance fishing gear.
Wearing PFG.
You have recently did a podcast, right? At your experience at Blizzard Beach, right? Or no, what's the name? Winter Summerland. Yeah. What did you wear?
Yeah.
Explain to the audience.
How did you adapt?
Oh yeah, I was totally in
the mini golf.
Bruh, look at this dude.
This is mini golf.
Yeah, mini golf. I was in proper tire, using my Scotty Cameron, and had a glove hanging out the back of my pocket. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you bring your own
I'll put the picture up. There's Bobby. There's Bobby, guys. That's him.
I just want to let everybody know where he's coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I look like I'm sponsored by Under Armour. I know. Listen, God forbid that there's one place that's just like a little tick impression nicer. Doesn't mean that it is, but it's just like an impression of it.
Bad.
And you know what? Some people just want to feel like they are hoity-toity for a night. I don't mind that. So, I like to play like I'm rich and everything like that, but I'm not a billionaire or anything like that. So yeah, let's let them have.
I got a question.
Go stay at Yacht Club and say I was on a yacht club.
I was on a boat.
I got a question. So would any of you guys go spend $700-800 at Victoria and Albert's?
Yes.
No, if somebody else paid, I'd eat there. And I don't mean
the
Josh.
most I would spend, on dinner is probably like $300-400. I couldn't drop $800. Yeah.
Freaking half my.
I would.
Bobby, you would.
I would. Okay. I've eaten at the Grand or at the California Grill, so that's the second most popular and expensive restaurant at Disney, right?
Topolino's is getting up there, man.
Yeah, it is.
And that Japanese.
I think I paid the same price at Topolino's that I did at California.
Yeah, it's not $800.
And that
It's
fine
not
dining.
anywhere near that.
We were under $200 for two people. It was like with tip and everything. You know, it's like,
so this is like an old sales story or whatever. You're not paying for the steak, you're paying for the sizzle. With Victoria and Albert's, you're paying to say that you went to Victoria and Albert's to an extent.
I'm sure it's good.
You know,
it's a fine-time restaurant
as the top-rated restaurant. So clearly, you know, there's a lot of challengers out there too at Disney. So clearly, it really is at the top of its game. But you know, I'm not saying that I would do it on a Tuesday night or whatever, but for an anniversary or you know something like that, yeah, absolutely, I would consider.
Yeah, I'm not disparaging your. I just was interested in what would be everybody's limit on price of food.
There's a sushi place in Tokyo there's a sushi spot in Tokyo that costs about that for me and Katie and Bella to eat there, and I would pay that there.
Really?
But that's about it. Yeah. I mean, it's just the one place I would do that.
Yeah.
Sushi's gross.
Now, it was just
that's different. That's a different topic.
That's not this.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this episode of the Notcast. Those are our worst value, moderate, and deluxe resorts on the Walt Disney World property. Stay tuned. Next episode, we're going to discuss our best. So that's coming up. Thank you guys for watching. For Bobby, for Becky, for Pat, I'm Steve. Peace out.